is Kiki, and my piece, Progressivism, was written as part of a proposal we had to do for Beth Williams, who came as one of our guests. And it was written about the Progressive era, which is the time I was learning in history class, which takes place from the 1890s around to like the 1920s. And essentially what happens is that it was a time of great social reform and kind of like political discussion as a result to kind of like increase immigration, industrialization, and just general like political corruption. And so I wrote this because I thought that like a lot of the issues are so relevant today. And people who are joining are Justin, Aiyana, and Samantha. Thank you.
America fought for the rights of the individual, but 2 wars passed and the effects of the residual inequality have put our country in a critical place in which we must take a stand against the formidable.
Men like Rockefeller and Vanderbilt rule the government, making it so corrupt all one can do is look in wonderment. As the economy plunges and creates the activism, war against labor, of racism, of feminism,
America meets the movement of progressivism. We want a total examination of our government's dedication to the people who make up the majority of the nation. Someone who will recognize our moral indignation, who will say what we can't when we're stuck at our workstation. We call for condemnation of power, the declaration of rights, the contemplation of freedom, the realization of plight. Is it too much to ask to be represented in our democracy? We thought America long disposed of aristocracy. Immigrants arrive in numbers, encumbered by the weight of what they left behind, with the hope that America is kind and that they will find a place for themselves amongst the masses. Yet they find a nation divided by classes, and the free land they thought upon which they stood is sectored instead into cultural neighborhoods.
It's astonishing, really, the level of hypocrisy in a nation that supposedly runs on meritocracy. Like Andrew Carnegie writes the gospel of wealth, in which he can things like work or health, vowing that it's the responsibility of the rich, that for poor communities they must aid it and enrich.
He says mutual ignorance breeds mutual distrust, and that the system today is hugely unjust. Yet in the Homestead Steel Strike of 1892, the union rights were something he withdrew, and in reacting to their strike of 1892, he used violence, not compromise, as a way to subdue. We want a total examination of our government's dedication to the people who make up the majority of the nation. Someone who will recognize our moral indignation, who will say what we can't when we're stuck at our workstation. We call for condemnation of power, the declaration of rights, the contemplation of freedom, the realization of plight. Is it too much to ask to be represented in our democracy? We thought America long disposed of aristocracy. So if mutual ignorance breeds mutual distrust, then I think something needs to be discussed. Is it then only right we revolt against the belligerent behavior? They think this movement will die out, but I promise you our faith and our mission is devout. The people who lead the fight are nothing short of brilliance. I don't think that they expected us to be this resilient.